Okay, anyway, so we are reading a book called In a Nutshell. Here's our book. The author is Joseph Anthony, and it's illustrated. The pictures are by Chris Arbo. So there's our book. Now, yesterday, I was saying I went to my mom's house. She has a lot of big, giant oak trees. Please turn and sit on the ground. Thank you. Please sit on your bottom, Victoria. If you don't sit on your bottom, the people behind you can't see. Slide that way just a little bit. You're up in Genesis' face. Thank you. No, not that far. All right, so I went and picked flowers at my mom's house because I thought they were beautiful. So I picked that big bouquet of daffodils for you. And then I also found a bunch of acorns. Everybody's going to get an acorn to take home. And then Mom and I dug up in her yard some little baby oak trees, which is what this book is about, the life cycle of an oak tree. So this is an oak tree. It's just a little baby. It's called a sapling. So if you can see, this is an acorn right here. It's attached to the root. So this is what it looks like when it's just an acorn. It looks like this. Now this is a little acorn. Some oak trees have big giant acorns. And maybe later today or sometime this week, we can go out by the big oak tree that's outside and see if we can find our own our own acorns, because I think that oak tree has giant acorns. But my mom's oak trees are little. The acorns are little. This is the seed of an oak tree. So look, the seed, look at our drawing right here. We have, let me turn this a little bit. This is the acorn. What grows first? What grows first from the acorn? Hayden? The roots. The roots come down first, and see? Do you see my little roots that came out of the acorn? They start there and they come down first, okay? And they soak up water and nutrients. Nutrients are like vitamins. I don't know, some of you, your mom might give you some vitamins in the mornings, or when you eat your vegetables and fruits, it gives you nutrients so that you can grow big and strong like a oak tree. Then after the roots grow, there's another root, and it's got, when I let you look at it up close, you can see, remember we talked about the root hairs? You can see the little bitty roots sticking off of the big root. That's called the root hair. And it helps to soak stuff up. So then after the root grows and it starts to get stronger, the green part grows up. The sapling grows. This is the sapling. And look, what are these? Leaves. Leaves. And what's the point of the leaf? What is the point of the leaf, Ton? Soaks in the sun and sunlight. Thanks, Ruby. Soaks in the sun, and it creates photosynthesis. And then what does the plant soak in? What does it breathe in that we breathe out? Angel. Air. That's right. But we breathe out carbon dioxide, remember? Yeah. And a plant breathes in carbon dioxide. What do we need to breathe in? What kind of air do we breathe in? What kind?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Thanks, Ton. Go move your clip up. I'm sorry. You didn't raise your hand, and if you don't raise your hand, then... I'm sorry. Maybe you can get it. Now I have 21 children in here. Go ahead, move your clip to yellow. Thank you, Ton. So we breathe in oxygen. The plant breathes out oxygen. So we need plants to live. That's why we're always talking about planting trees, planting flowers, planting anything that has a green leaf, because then we're going to be able to live, because we are breathing oxygen and they're breathing carbon dioxide. Everybody say carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide.
That is correct. So I'm going to put our little oak tree over here, and then after we read the book, I'll pass it around so everybody can look at it when we get back to our seats, because I feel like if we're sitting on the rug, it might break. And I've got a couple of other oak trees in here, and I've got some soil, and I've got some acorns that you guys can look at. Everybody's going to get an acorn, because Mom and I looked and looked and looked and picked up enough for 21 acorns.
We're going to have it today?
Yes, I'm going to give it to you today. Now, if you want to go home and plant it, you may do so. However, listen, you need to plant it in a spot that it has to get some good sunshine, and you can water it. Now, sometimes your seed will grow, and sometimes it won't. All right? So don't be upset if your acorn doesn't grow. All right? And it takes a long time. It takes a really long time, because remember we watched yesterday the plant grow, and it took like 60 days. That's like 2 months. 2 months. Yes, Angel.
Sleep all day.
Angel.
I planted like yellow flowers,
Mhm.
and then when it was winter, I was gonna go check on them to water them.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. Sometimes that happens. Yes, Ruby.
If there's a small acorn, could you put it in a jar and put it by the window?
You
so
sure
you
can.
water it every morning before you come to school?
Yes, but you need to make sure if it's in a cup. Remember, you got to have a drainage hole so it won't drown, because water's good, but too much water is not good. All right, so you need to make sure you put a hole in it. And then as soon as you see the green leaves coming out, you got to plant it outside, because oak trees get giant and they won't live in a cup. Okay? Yes? Oh. Okay. All right, let's finish our story in a nutshell. Get to where we stopped yesterday. Oops. Right here. Oh, remember we read, I gotta start from the beginning. That's our other story, Miss Brand. Dawn sparked on the great forest. Dawn is when the sun comes up. All right, when somebody says dawn, the sun comes up. The sun is rising. That's when we come to school. High in the treetop, plump acorns were leaving their sunlit home and falling into the darkness below. They were falling into the forest floor. Please get off of A-Dray. One little acorn wanted to stay in the light forever, but it soon lost its grip and fell too. A moment later, it landed with a thump, and it lay still. The forest floor was very, very dark. Somewhere deep inside, the acorn knew it must get back to the sunlight. It would have to break free of its shell and become bigger than it was. So when the season was right, the acorn burst open. It pushed out roots. Do roots go up or down?
Down.
Down. Roots grow down. And a stem. Does the stem grow up or grow down?
Down.
Up. The stem grows towards the light and stretched itself into a tiny sapling. A tiny sapling. The sapling took food from the wet soil, soaked up every drop of light its tiny leaves could reach, and grew a little more and a little more each day.
I see the cracks.
As days passed into years, the sapling discovered that becoming an oak tree was not easy. Hungry mouths nibbled it and vines choked it out. Hungry mouths, look at that. Remember we learned about our caterpillar?
I see.
What kind of connection is that called, Julian? I can't hear you. Very good. Can you move your clip up? A text-to-text connection. Because remember last week we read the story from caterpillar to butterfly? And the butterfly laid its eggs underneath a leaf. So when the caterpillar hatched, he had food to eat and he didn't have to go looking for it. He just popped out of its egg and started eating that leaf. Everybody chomp on your leaf. That's right. That's what he did.
I see.
Okay, that's enough. Sometimes it was very cold to be an oak tree. I was in the sun, in the snow, and the ice. Brr. At other times it was burning hot. It looks like they have a forest fire right here. But the oak tree, okay. Please sit on your bottom. The people behind you can't see, Franco. Shh. I'm not answering questions right now. Thanks. Hard times helped make the sapling strong as it grew into a tree. As he grew up and into a tree. William, don't stretch your shirt like that. Still, it kept on growing and reaching for the sun. Do you think the oak tree can ever reach the sun?
Yes. No. Yes.
You think it can? I don't think so. The sun is so far away. But it tries. It reaches. Everybody reach your limbs up. Pretend like your limbs and you're reaching for the sun. Very good. All right. Hands down. Years passed. What was once a small acorn became the tallest tree in the forest with deep roots. Please sit correctly. And sturdy branches. Countless leaves touched the sunlight. They turned the light into life that filled the tree and flowed over. I bet different kinds of animals lived in this oak tree. What lived in this oak tree? What's a kind of animal that can live in an oak tree, Ruby?
A bird.
A bird. What else? Hayden?
A squirrel.
A squirrel. That's right. What's another kind of animal? Angel?
Ants.
Ants. Ants can live in there. Ton?
A woodchuck.
Maybe a woodchuck could live under him, but woodchucks don't crawl up into a tree. They don't climb. They're not climbers. Franco?
An eagle.
An eagle might make a nest up in the tree. Maybe. I don't think this is eagle country, but maybe an eagle. Malachi?
Birds.
Birds. All kinds of birds. All right, that's it. It dropped acorns of its own, giving life to little oak trees and food to the forest creatures. Because some animals eat acorns. And if they eat them, can they grow into a tree, William?
No.
No. Because why?
Because they're animals.
Well, because where is the acorn?
In
If the animal eats them, where are they, Julian? Where's the acorn?
his mouth.
In his
Stuck.
in his belly, because he ate them. And that's making him healthy. But when it was old and tired, and its limbs and roots were rotten, the mighty tree could grow no more, and its life as an oak was almost over. The only way for it to become bigger than it was now was to die. And the oak tree died. It'd probably been there for hundreds of years. But you know what? What could someone use this old dead wood for? What could someone use this old dead wood for? Genesis, what can you use old dead wood for? You could make a house. I'm not sure if you'd want dead wood for a house, but it is dead once you cut it down. So yeah, that's a good thought. Analia? Oh, a fire. You go out. Has anybody ever been camping or at your house and you go collect old dead wood to burn in your fireplace? Because listen to this. Green wood, if you cut it off a live tree, green wood only makes smoke. It doesn't burn because it's still alive. Yeah, Ton?
You can use wood to make paper.
They do use wood to make paper. That is a very good thought there, Ton. Beverly? What?
A bow.
Yeah, a bowl. Is that what do you say?
Boat.
A boat. Some boats are made out of wood. That's correct. Okay, that's the last one. Okay, you're gonna have to wait. Okay, I have to move on. When the tree fell, its crash shook the entire forest. Crash when it fell.
I see the light. I see the light.
Yep, and then it turned into. Then it rotted and turned into dirt. when it rotted and melted and the water and stuff made it nice and soft, worms and bugs took the tree's life and returned it to the soil. All the bugs and stuff ate the dead wood and turned it into soil so that it could start all over again.
What's that white thing?
Which white thing? That's a slug. It's called a slug, which is kind of like a kind of snail without a shell. As a slug. Finally, the tree became a pile of rich, dark earth, and no one remembered that it was once a living tree, grown from an acorn. It seemed that the oak tree was gone forever when another tree was planted there, and the life of the oak passed from the soil into the new tree. But this tree was a cherry tree.
Oh.
This one was a cherry tree.
George Washington.
All right, what's the connection? Okay, I'm going to keep reading. When the cherry tree grew up, birds ate the fruit, scattering cherry trees and new life all through the forest. Look, they're picking cherries. What do you do with cherries? Hayden? You eat them. You eat them up. Yum. Who likes cherries? Oh my. Who likes cherries? Raise your hand if you like a cherry. Sit on your bottom. I'm not going to call on you if you're not sitting the right way. Uh-oh, we're all talking at the same time. Franco, that's not how you get my attention. Yes, Kyle. You can make cherry juice. Right, how do you do that? You don't know? You squeeze the cherries. Very good, Ton. Yes, Hayden. Cherry cake. What else? Miss Brand's favorite kind of something. That's my favorite. Yes, Franco.
You can make a chili candy.
Cherry candy. Yes. Yes, Malachi.
Cherry pie.
Cherry pie. That's what Miss D just said. Look, and that's what they're eating right here. Cherry pie. That's one of Miss Brand's favorite kind of pies. Is a cherry pie. I love it with vanilla ice cream on the top. When it's nice and warm and you put the vanilla ice cream on it and the vanilla ice cream kind of melts on top of the cherry tree, on top of the cherry pie, and it gets down in the crust and it's so sweet and delicious. All right, until the life of a little acorn became a part, I'm waiting. Please sit the right way. That's the third time I've asked. If I have to say it again, you're going to have to sit at your seat, okay? And the life of the little acorn became part of everything. Yes, Angel?
If you forget your sticks for the camping thing, you can just use the sticks.
Yeah, you can. You mean for the tent?
Yeah.
Yes, you can use sticks from the dead oak tree to help hold your tent up. That's a very good suggestion. All right, if everybody will go back to their seats, I will give you an acorn to hold and look at. Hold on. Let me give instructions. Wait, Malachi, stay here so I can hear what you want to say. And we're all going to look at the oak tree, okay? Julian.
You can make toys out of it.
Yes, you can. Is that scary? Julian, go sit at my table.
Okay, show me who's ready to get those acorns.
What do you need?
I'm going to contest.
What?
I said, Easter egg contest.
Yes. Cool. All right. Now,